Alice, well, people are saying Liz Truss has this in the bag when it goes to the membership. What do you think?
I'm not convinced. I mean, I think she is probably ideologically closer to the membership, but I think a long campaign might expose some of her weaknesses. She's not as slick a performer as Rishi Sunak. The intense scrutiny she'll come under. I mean, obviously, she's been Foreign Secretary, she's been in the public eye for a long time, but running for Prime Minister is a different ballgame. So I think there's still all to play for here.
OK, so Rishi Sunak's not out of the game yet. He's come out at the front of the Times, and lots of his sound bites yesterday were all saying, if you choose Liz Truss, he's saying to the membership, then you lose the next general election. Is there some truth in that he'd be more popular in a general election? That's
certainly what polling shows at the moment. I think perhaps he has a slight advantage because more people have heard of him, because he was riding high during the pandemic. Again, I mean, he's kind of trying to really burnish his Thatcherite credentials. He clearly thinks that that's going to be an election winner, but actually it's
they're both trying to do that, aren't they?
I mean, actually, ideologically, there's very little between them. It's a question of, it's this rather kind of obscure debate about cutting taxes now or cutting them, just before an election. So we'll see how those kind of differences get teased out during the campaign.
Well, if people hurt now, Liz Truss' attacks or insinuations towards Rishi Sunak are going to hurt, because people hurt. What I'm saying is, if you're squeezing, money matters and it matters now.
Yes, exactly. People are really struggling to pay their bills right now, and Liz Truss is saying she's going to do something to help.
In some ways, on that, though, is the former Chancellor at a disadvantage, because he's actually had to balance the books himself, and it's very easy for the Foreign Secretary to come in and say, I'm going to cut taxes from day one, but Rishi Sunak's turning around saying this isn't honest economics, that's fairy tale economics. It's just not going to work, because we have to pay for public services, we can't increase our borrowing, as a percentage to GDP, it's going to stoke inflation, all those kinds of arguments. They do come from different positions because of, obviously, his past as Chancellor.
Yes, absolutely, and his difficulty is that he's presided over the economic mess that we are now in. I mean, you can say that there are kind of external factors, but it's him who's raised the tax burden to the highest it's been for decades, and it's him that's been in charge of the economy for the past few years. So that is a real disadvantage to him.